Norway, a long journey through silence, nature, and time. Norway is a country that does not rush. It stretches slowly from the south to the far north of Europe, touching the Arctic Circle and reaching into a world of ice, wind, and endless sky. When you think about Norway, you may first imagine cold weather, mountains, and fjords. But Norway is more than landscapes. It is a story written by nature and lived by people who learned how to survive, adapt, and stay calm in a powerful environment. The land of Norway was shaped long before humans arrived. Massive glaciers once covered almost everything. Over thousands of years, they moved slowly, crushing rocks, carving valleys, and creating deep fjords that now define the Norwegian coast. When the ice melted, it left behind dramatic cliffs, narrow sea paths, and clear water that reflects the sky like a mirror. Even today, when you stand near a fjord, you can feel the age of the earth around you. Nature is not decoration in Norway, it is the main character. Mountains rise sharply, often covered with snow even in summer. Rivers flow fast and cold. Waterfalls fall freely from great heights, sometimes looking like white threads in the distance, sometimes roaring with unstoppable force. Forests cover large areas of land, silent and deep, especially in the east and south. In the north, the land becomes more open, rough, and wild. Life in such a place has always been difficult. Early Norwegians had to learn how to live with long winters, short summers, and unpredictable weather. Farming was possible only in certain areas, so fishing became the main source of food. The sea gave fish, but it also demanded respect. Storms could appear suddenly, and many lives were lost. This constant danger created a culture of caution, strength, and quiet courage. The sea also gave Norway its most famous historical figures, the Vikings. Around 1,000 years ago, Norse sailors left their homeland in long wooden ships. They traveled to England, France, Russia, and even North America. They were explorers, traders, and warriors. Their ships were advanced for their time, light but strong, able to cross open oceans. The Vikings believed in fate, honor, and the power of the gods. Their stories, myths, and legends are still remembered today. However, Viking life was not only about raids and battles. Most Vikings were farmers and fishermen. They lived in small communities, worked the land, raised animals, and told stories by firelight during long winter nights. Storytelling became a way to understand the world and pass knowledge from one generation to another. This tradition of quiet reflection still exists in modern Norway. As centuries passed, Norway experienced many changes. It was ruled by other countries, lost its independence, and later regained it. In 1905, Norway became an independent nation again. Instead of choosing conflict, it focused on peace, cooperation, and building a fair society. This decision shaped the country's future and helped create one of the most stable nations in the world. Today, Norway is known for its high standard of living. Oil and gas discovered in the North Sea brought wealth, but Norway chose to use this wealth carefully. Instead of spending everything, It created one of the largest sovereign wealth funds in the world, saving money for future generations. This reflects a deep sense of responsibility and long-term thinking. Norwegian cities are modern but not overwhelming. Oslo, the capital, is surrounded by forests and water. From the city center, you can quickly reach hiking trails, lakes, and quiet nature. Bergen, with its colorful wooden houses and frequent rain, feels like a bridge between sea and mountains. Trondheim, once a Viking capital, carries history in its streets while looking toward the future. One important part of Norwegian culture is the idea of balance. People value equality and simplicity. Expensive cars, loud behavior, and showing off wealth are generally not admired. There is a cultural idea, often called the law of Jante, which suggests that no one should think they are better than others. While this idea has critics, it helps explain why Norwegian society feels calm and fair. Another key concept is friluftsliv, which means free air life. It describes the Norwegian love for being outdoors. Hiking, skiing, camping, and spending time in nature are not hobbies for a few people. They are a normal part of life. Children grow up learning to walk in forests, ski in winter, and respect the land around them. Nature is not something to conquer, but something to live with. The seasons in Norway strongly influence daily life. Winter can be dark and long, especially in the north. In some areas, the sun does not rise for weeks. This period can be challenging, but people adapt. Homes are warm and cozy, filled with soft light, candles, and quiet evenings. When summer arrives, it feels almost magical. The sun stays in the sky all night, energy returns, and people spend as much time outside as possible. One of the most unforgettable natural experiences in Norway is the Northern Lights. On cold winter nights, the sky may suddenly fill with moving green, purple, and blue lights. They dance silently above the land, reminding people how small they are in the universe. Seeing the Northern Lights is not just a visual experience, it is emotional, almost spiritual. Norwegians are often described as reserved or quiet. This is partly true. People value personal space and do not talk loudly without reason. But this does not mean they are cold. Trust takes time, but once it is built, relationships are deep and honest. Silence is not uncomfortable in Norway. It is natural. Sometimes sitting together without speaking says more than words. Food in Norway reflects the environment. Fish, especially salmon and cod, plays a major role. Traditional dishes often include preserved foods like dried fish, smoked meat, and fermented products, developed to survive long winters. Modern Norwegian cuisine combines tradition with fresh ideas, focusing on local ingredients and simplicity. Norway also places strong importance on education, healthcare, and social support. These systems are built on the belief that everyone deserves a fair chance in life. While no society is perfect, Norway consistently ranks high in happiness and quality of life. This is not because life is easy, but because people feel secure and supported. In the end, Norway is not a country that tries to impress you with noise or speed. It teaches patience. It teaches respect. for nature, for others, and for yourself. Norway shows that strength does not always need to be loud, and that a quiet life, close to the land and guided by balance, can be deeply meaningful. Norway stays with you not as a place, but as a feeling: cold air in your lungs, silence in your mind, and the sense that the world, for a moment, is exactly as it should be.